Welcome back to the podcast. Me and Jsmitty back at it again.
Yeah, he got his DoorDash. I'm on a diet, so
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
on
eat DoorDash. That's too fat for me.
and I'm on a dirty bulk right now, so you gotta eat it, bro.
It's gotta happen.
You're not even on a diet, bro. Don't listen to him, bro. He's lying, bro. He's not on a diet, bro. He's just living, bro. Getting by, eating whatever comes his way. And tonight it wasn't DoorDash, so he's gonna have to resort to the chip bag. But that's besides the point, because this is our first mukbang, which is, what I would arguably say is the coolest thing before podcasts were ever somewhat cool.
We gotta get super fucking big by like that Nick A30 dude. Or not Nick A30, Nick Avocado dude.
Yep.
But then also cut weight at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can just we were never fat.
Yeah.
We gotta just bulk like crazy for like 2 years and then just cut it all.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to do it silently, too. And we're going to pop out like Nick Avocado did and drop the 100+ pounds.
200 probably. That was a big boy.
Yeah, 200, whatever.
She was a dude.
But yeah, I thought mukbangs were way cooler before I thought podcasts were. Like, watching like the greats, like Trailer Trash Tammy. Like, that shit was popping way before the mainstream
Talk to her.
bullshit. Like, nobody was watching no podcast before Trailer Trash Tammy pulled up. So that's where I draw a lot of my inspiration from. Besides, I'm not from the South.
We should try to get her on here.
Yeah, that would be cool. Chelsea Lynn, Trailer Trash Tammy. If you want to be featured on our podcast, hit me up. Socials will be linked on the YouTube. But otherwise, just, check your following. Jamin should be in there. There ain't a lot of Jamins. Or Jsmitty's. Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of Jack Smiths, but there's no Jsmitty Bongs. He's the first one of those. True statement. But
You wanna jump back to it?
we gonna jump into some questions. We got more debate questions, and we gonna be pausing here and there to eat some of this food. But besides that, it should be a really good debate. And we're just gonna be kind of freestyling this. We don't really have, set structure or anything, so should be good.
Do fish know that they're wet?
I'm gonna say no. Because their whole life they're wet, so it's just, their natural state.
So what if we're something that we don't know? Like if air was, reverse, how we need air to live?
Well, we use the word dry to describe when we're dry. It's kind of hard to explain, but fish have never been dry.
When you kill them.
We cook, yeah. It's like us being dry and wet, it doesn't matter. We can still live dry or wet. But like, that would be like us trying to explain not being human. Like, we just couldn't do it. Because we've never not been human. Yeah. Roosters have never not been wet. And if they did, none of them lived to tell the tale. So, what do you think on that one, Jsmitty?
Yeah, I'd say fish don't know that they're wet. They know when they're not in the water, but that doesn't mean that they know that they're not wet.
Mm-hmm. And even when you take them out, they're still wet.
That's true. The only time they're not wet is when they're dead, when you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to know that, so they never knew that they were not wet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that kind of solves it right there.
It's kind of weird, though, because, like, them being wet is their natural state.
Us being dry is ours.
Yep.
are you scratching your nose so much?
I kind of have a runny nose though. A little bit. I don't know why. But
They're gonna think that we're fucking doing coke and shit. Fucking skiing out there in the fucking hills.
I got the winter hat on like a skier.
Yeah. You look like you belong in an EDM booth.
Nah, it's really cold in the place we're recording this. So, that's kind of why we're bundled up right now, you know.
Do stairs go up, go down, or do a little bit of both at the same time?
Depends on how you're describing it, bro. If you build the stairs because you need it to go down somewhere, then you'd say you built the stairs to go down somewhere. The stairs are therefore going down. That's their purpose.
I just don't think stairs go in directions. I feel like you go directions on the stairs. The stairs don't move. The stairs don't go up. Stairs don't go down. You go down the stairs. You go up the stairs. The stairs don't move.
No one ever said they did.
Do stairs go up or do stairs go down? They don't go anywhere.
They're just stairs.
Yeah, you go up or down the stairs.
It's like asking is the world upwards or down. We don't know. We have nothing to base it off of. If people had something to... It's just impossible to answer that question. Like, if there's just a neutral set of stairs, we don't know if it went up or down. We don't know the start of where up and down ever began. Where the Earth is in the universe. Is it up or down? There's nothing to reference that. Like, we could reference the moon. If it's in a cycle, we could say it's above us or below us. Directionally, where we're standing. From our point of view. But we could never explain up or down as they are by themselves without a reference. So, if the universe was infinite, the only reference we'd have is from another intelligent source telling us that from where they are, we're up or down, north and south, or whatever directions they'd use. They'd have to explain that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there. I know you'd probably have some interesting takes on that.
I got lost.
You got lost in the sauce?
I got very lost.
Well, I can't talk too much though. I'm trying to pound this food down. But
If you could visit your mind as a physical place, what would it look like? Like some Inside Out type thing. You know? I don't know.
do you visit your mind? What would it look like?
I just view Inside Out.
Yeah, there's no actual like thing.
It's the same kind of a thing when like you read the book before you watch a movie. Your brain gets to imagine it all before you actually see what it is.
Yeah.
Before we actually see what it is, my brain's just gonna imagine Inside Out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably what I think my brain looks like.
I mean, like you
That's
get
like
like pictures inside
physical
of a brain,
place.
like a MRI or whatever, brain scan, CAT scan. I don't know. That would be like technically what's inside your brain looks like. But if you're talking about like inside your mind, yeah, you just would never really know that. A lot of these questions are just like impossible to answer, honestly.
Yeah.
Next one.
Do we have free will?
I think you gotta answer this one.
Or is everything predetermined? I say you have free will.
We kind of had a conversation with someone close to this the other day.
Did we?
Yeah. It was about like I was kind of explaining. I feel like low key, like you have to learn certain things. So in a way, it's like almost scripted, but we don't know the script, so it happened. Because everything in hindsight we're always like, oh, this happened and I learned this. Like it would make me. I won't be who I am today without it. Like no matter good or bad, that's just how it was. And that's low-key part of the script. We just don't know it. That's why they say God knows this is God's plan.
I guess, yeah. That's interesting.
Your life, in that sense, your life is sort of scripted. But you kind of write it, you can kind of, mess with it. There's certain lessons you'll have to learn, regardless, probably. And it's part of your script. That's kind of what I think.
So you think your life is kind of predetermined before it ever happens?
To a degree. Yeah.
You don't think life is unpredictable?
No, it is. But then that would be part of your script. Like, if you created somebody and you gave them free will, they're going to do what they want.
Yeah.
But if you had enough leeway as a creator, you'd make sure they learn certain things so that they end up how you want them to.
Okay, but if you're trying to get people to end up the way that you want them to be, why are there bad people in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do people do bad things then?
It's part of the script.
But why does it have to be part of the script though?
It's their script. We don't know everyone's script.
But if the script was given from up above, why would he want bad people? If everybody was good and we had no concept of bad, wouldn't that be the perfect world?
Mm-hmm.
Because then everybody would be following the same way.
We had that Garden of Eden.
We don't have that now.
No, because we have free will.
So free will.
So at one point, humans entirely were scripted.
But when did we break that script?
When Adam and Eve did, they gave us free will. Or they chose the temptation, which gave humans like free will. Like,
Oh, you fucked that chip up.
Mm-hmm.
You ate that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hella weird. Yeah,
I
that
did
thing. You came up like Jaws to eat that thing, dude.
This shit's so good though. But no, that question, that was a good one, but yeah, like I was saying, I mean, you are scripted to a certain degree. And we have free will because God gave us free will so we can kind of make our own script, like between bad and good. But your whole life isn't just bad and good. A lot of it's just random shit happening. And so, like, that's why it's hard to make sense of it, because if there wasn't bad or good, it was just a random thing that happened. And that's kind of the script. Like, that random shit that occurs, like, God knows it's gonna happen, Or, like, it's part of your script. Like, you could change it, though. Like, like, let's say you had a really big lesson that is part of your script that God wants you to learn. That your soul's gonna have a problem with, maybe. You either could learn it really early on in your script or really later on in your script, depending on what you do. Like, there's controllables, like you can control it. But to actually, like, I'm trying not like get lost off topic here, but you can control it to a certain degree, but there's gonna be variables that are constant regardless, is what I'm trying to say.
It's like your college degree where you start here, you got to get here, and there's so many different ways that you can do it.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you got to pretty much do the same core classes to get your degree, but you can tweak the rest.
That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. I got some real deep thinking ones.
What?
If you could go back and see yourself as a 5-year-old for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, however long.
Yeah.
What would you do and what would you tell them?
5-year-old soul?
Yep. Kindergarten. Right before starting kindergarten.
I won't tell them anything. When I was that little, I wouldn't remember shit. I couldn't even tell you much of anything that happened from back then. If I saw myself, I'd probably remember it because it'd be so crazy. Obviously.
Okay, we'll go to your 8-year-old self. When you remember.
Like to the point where just like a really young version of myself that I remember.
As far back as you can go.
That I would actually take my own advice. That would going to be for a while.
That you would remember.
I wouldn't tell him anything. Because if it was the earliest I could remember, I was probably really immature. And I probably wouldn't even take my own advice. I feel like.
Really?
Yeah. Or,
You're telling me back then, imagine yourself as that. You see your older self come up to you and tell you, don't do X, Y, Z. You wouldn't be like, shit, I totally shouldn't do that.
yeah, but I wouldn't tell him that. I wouldn't tell him anything. I wanted to figure shit out the way, because that wouldn't be me if I took shortcuts. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same.
Not only would my younger self like be confused as hell. Like it'd be cool to see myself. My younger self would have wanted to see my future self just to see. But like, there's not like anything I would tell them.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell him anything. I wouldn't want to ruin the vibe.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to ruin this plot, bro. That's a spoiler.
Let the kid be happy.
Yeah, bro, he was happy, bro. I want to give him all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is what life turns into. Womp womp, little bro.
Mistakes make you who you are.
Yeah, he'd have to learn everything that I learned. Isn't that a crazy concept? You had to go through everything perfectly in order. Like lessons, everything you learned to be who you are right now, where you are right now.
Yep.
Because, like, it's like the, what's it called, snowball effect?
Mm-hmm.
A few small things really could have a big impact on the road.
Yeah. Every experience you do changes you. It changes the trajectory of your life. Just a little bit. Some things bigger than others.
Mm-hmm. You never know. There's really weird instances you wouldn't even pay attention to, probably, that are like that.
Because if this is like your life, and you're going on a straight trajectory, you get a haircut. What if you didn't get the haircut? Your life just changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You could die on the way driving.
That
to the
person
haircut.
wanted to talk to you because they didn't think you looked good enough without your haircut.
Yep. That hair could be donated somewhere and change somebody's life. It changes. You move states, you move away, it changes a lot more. Just always zigging and zagging.
That's crazy one though.
Me eating this changes something. I don't know what. You eating that changes something.
I might not know until I'm running tomorrow. I'm like, damn, I just ate all that T-ball last night. I feel like shit.
Yep.
That changed something. That changed how I'm acting tomorrow.
Butterfly.
Something could have happened tomorrow that didn't happen now because I was feeling like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Something could happen that turned out to be good, like a random occurrence, because I was feeling like shit had happened. It could have either effect. You don't know it though. It could be good or bad. But you really don't know because you don't know what's coming at you tomorrow. Not exactly that is. You have a good idea what's coming at you tomorrow. Never exactly.
Isn't it crazy to think about how every person has a different perspective of you? Like, not one person sees you the same way. You don't even see yourself the same way other people see you, and you'll never see what they see of you, and they'll never see what you see of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people's opinions don't matter.
You're only talking on the pursuit. No. Sorry. They're only talking on their perceived version of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's really not you, it's just a perception. So really you have no identity besides what you identify to yourself.
Yep. Is that good?
Mm-hmm. Tremendously good. Tremendously, outstandingly good.
What do you get?
That was a chalupa.
What's that?
Chicken chalupa from Taco Bell.
It's a chalupa. Never even heard of that.
It's what's the term we were using? Ethereal?
That is ethereal.
It tastes ethereal. It's very delicate, very lighthearted. Heavenly.
Ethereal.
Heavenly.
Yep.
That's what it tastes like. For those of you who were wondering. And no, I'm not sponsored by T-Bill. I'm just saying that because that's literally how it tastes right now.
Ethereal.
Ethereal. But, yeah. What were we talking about? The perceived version of yourself. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, I could tell myself I'm Batman right now. And live my whole life thinking I'm Batman. That's all that matters. I think I'm Batman. But him and some random people see me and he thinks, oh, it's just a random kid that thinks he's Batman. To someone else, something different. It really just doesn't matter. At the end of the day. I think that's kind of the...
Yeah. Are you the same person when you're yourself, like by yourself alone, versus when you're with other people? So who is really the real you?
It doesn't exist.
Or is it because you are always changing?
That too. It's a part of it. It's a factor. Yeah, it's a tough one to answer, but you are, I don't know. You're everything that you believe you are. And like you could, I mean, people have different definitions on, you know? Like people say, oh, you are like your core values. You know?
Yeah.
That's what makes you who you are.
So your core values is you?
Yeah, because that's what you default to. Like
What if you don't follow them? You've never broken a core value?
No, no one has. That's not a core value. Or no, you do break them, but you feel really bad about it.
And that's how you find them.
Yeah, that's how you find them. That's how you know what they are. So like, if your core value was always being friendly to people, okay, for whatever reason, that's your core value, and then one day for no reason, I call Jack some name in the elevator or something in this scenario. And then I'm like, oh, I felt really bad for calling him that. Because I broke core value and I know that's not who I am. And that's why when people apologize, they're saying, oh, I'm sorry, that's not who I am. That's not what I would. It's because if you're actually sorry and you're actually apologizing, that means you broke one of your core values and you want people to know that. Like, that's not who you are.
Yeah.
That's the difference between the, like, real sorriness and, like, fake sorriness is... Real sorriness comes from when someone broke their own core value. So then you'd have to judge that. Like, are they really sorry? Is that their core value? Yeah, it is their core value. They're probably really sorry about it. That's how you'd have to look at it. And but that's only a explanation for it. Part of it, I guess.
That looks so weird to me. Do not move. Look at the camera. You see your burrito and you see the air conditioning. I thought that was just one super long burrito. I thought that shit was just massive.
Mm-hmm. We go for what?
You ever think, like, stay with me now. Is it possible that your life is just a dream of some other, like, higher conscious being where the people in the dreams have feelings and all this, and one day it's gonna wake up and just everything's gonna go away? You ever thought about that?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening too. Like that is what is happening. Dash.
It's kind of weird to say that.
Mm-mm.
Like when you put it in words, that sounds crazy.
Okay. Answer this then. This will answer your question. What's the difference between a dream and a memory?
You can make them up.
You can have memories of dreams.
Yeah.
So you're
But you can also have dreams that are just crazy. You haven't had a crazy dream that's
don't
not
go,
even real.
Don't go past what I just said. Don't go past it. You really gotta think about this one. You're having a memory of your dream. That means you're recalling it with your senses, how it felt, what you were doing. Like you have all those concepts of it. It's literally the same concept. You're remembering a dream and you're remembering a memory. You're not there experiencing either. So you're recalling what they felt like. And to you, a dream feels real when it's in your brain. But then, like, your conscious self on Earth realizes it's not. It's not actually something that happened. But when you're recalling them, either way, you're recalling the senses of something going on.
So you're saying you can never live in the moment?
No. Well, yeah, that is like kind of a similar concept. Is you can't live in the moment because everything's a memory. You're never experiencing the same exact senses all the time. You're just forever creating memories. Like me, when I set up this podcast, that's a memory now. Even if it was a recent memory, it's still a memory. Like I'm not living in that moment. I didn't have Taco Bell in that moment. Now I have Taco Bell.
But we're living in this video right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we have been for however long it's been going.
Mm-hmm.
And we will until it ends. That's all been in the moment. This is still in the moment until the video is shut off. We're in the moment of the video.
The moment of the video.
Yeah. We're in the moment of making the video.
But videos can tell a story. Stories change. One video isn't just a moment.
So you can never live in the moment.
But the movie 1917, that's a shot in one shot. The same as like a moment is one moment. But from what's happening at the beginning of the movie to what's happening at the end of the movie, it's completely different. Like the beginning seems like a memory.
I guess how do you define one moment? Because one moment's
very small. Like,
is it?
when someone says
one moment in time?
When someone says one moment, that means like I'm gonna be with you super shortly. Like it's a very small slot in time.
There was one moment in time in which so-and-so wasn't allowed to so-and-so, wasn't allowed to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a long period of time.
But they mean moment as like any given point.
Do they?
Time. Yes. Everyone knows that, Jack. Everyone knows it. I'm serious. Like,
I don't think a moment has a defined length of time.
yeah, but it could be a long... Okay, there could be very similar moments in a long length of time, right? Like for the time that there was dinosaurs. That was a moment, you could say there's a moment in time where T-Rexes exist. There's probably hundreds of years where they existed, right? This slot in time with hundreds of years they existed. You take any given moment, it's similar, almost the same, because it's in a moment. As in like a time, like a period. There was a moment in time where Jack was 5'5". You were 5'5" until you were 5'6" when you kept growing. But that moment, that's the one constant, was you were 5'5". So I could take any moment on that timeline where you're 5'5", you're 5'5".
And that's one moment.
That's
of
one
me being
moment.
5'5".
And it could be any second. Any second when you're 5'5", you're 5'5".
So you can take one moment of one moment.
Yeah, you're taking a moment of.
So you're taking a moment
section.
of a moment.
In that context, that's what that means. Like they're saying a moment. Like there's any given moment on that timeline where this happened. But for you, what you're talking about, when someone says one moment, that means they're gonna be with you really soon. Like, oh, just give me a moment. I'll be right back. It's like, hold on, like, I'm gonna be gone. Like,
and that moment,
like a moment will go by, and then I'll be back.
But that's also a moment that you're living in, not with them.
Ooh,
so you're living in the moment, that you're not with them while they're living in their moment, that they're not with you.
Yes.
But it's the same moment because you're waiting for
Yes.
them to be back.
That's the moment.
So what is a moment? Everybody has their own different moments. And you can measure a moment with a moment.
I think a moment is just a period of time that connects another period of time.
That doesn't make any sense though.
Yeah, it does. Like,
How can something be a part of the same thing it is? Unless it's the whole, which means it can't be a part of it.
bro,
A part and a whole are different.
The moment,
So a moment
if
can't
I
be
went
a
to the
moment.
bathroom right now and I said one moment, the moment of time from me leaving and you experiencing time without me till the time I come back is a moment. That's a moment in time where I was gone.
Yes, but
And if I recall that moment, there's a moment in time where Jack was sitting in my room when I was in the bathroom. That's a moment in time.
but
and-
your moment is different than my moment.
Yeah, that's my
At the
moment.
same moment.
For me recalling it, yeah, I'd say that's my moment I went to the bathroom. I walked to the bathroom. That's a period in time where on the relative, like, dating, like, you recalling a memory, you're recalling your moment of it, and I'm recalling my moment of it. That's what makes it a memory.
So are moments just memories?
Our moments were the same if I were to go to the bathroom and you were sitting here. They're just your
But they're
perception of
so
the moment,
different.
your perception of the moment, my perception of the moment. But either way, it's still the same period of time. It's the moment.
But you can take one moment during that.
Yeah, so if
One
like
moment.
your waiter was helping you and they said, "I'll be with you in a moment," that means they're referring to a small period of time where they'll be without you will be without them, and they will be back in that short moment.
So there's no defined time of a moment. A moment could be any defined
No,
time.
but relatively, it's a very short amount of time because if a moment goes on too long, it becomes a story, which we all know are usually longer.
So moments.
So like
are-
if I said I was going to the bathroom and you were waiting for me here, if I came right back, it would just be a moment in time, like nothing happened really, because I just went there and came back. It's a very short moment. But if I left and I got jumped by some guy, or some random thing happened to me, that moment just became a whole story. So if you recalled it, I wouldn't say there was a moment in time when Jack was waiting without me. I'd say this is a story in time now, where all this stuff happened, and they got out of the time frame of a moment. It's now a longer recollection of what has been, what happened.
So a moment can become a story, then.
Yeah, it becomes a longer. There's definitely more vocab we're not using, but there's definitely a longer. Yeah, it's a longer story. It's a story. If multiple moments make up a story.
So moments are just a way.
Okay, so the World War I movie I was talking about, 1917. It's about this long story of this guys that are delivering the letter or whatever. For us, we could say there was a moment in World War I that happened. And yeah, that's that time period. Like that was a moment for them because the whole thing was shot in one scene. There's no pausing, nothing. The camera's following them. That's like a moment. But so many things happened in that moment of the shot kept going. Like certain things happen. All of a sudden, things are so different in one moment from the next that it's a story. So like the setting where they were. There was trees, and then all of a sudden they're in trucks, and then all of a sudden they're in a field. That's like 3 different moments that are in a timeline to create a story. Now they have a story because all these moments, all these variables of the moment change. But each moment was a very small section of time where things were constant. Things were a constant in that moment. And that doesn't happen because everything's always changing. So a moment has to be short. Because with everything always changing, it's always creating new moments. So a moment is a very short amount of time where things are the same.
Yeah. So moments are just ways of measuring.
Mm-hmm.
Like how to explain it? A way of recollecting the past. So you can never live in a moment.
Yeah, you do.
But the moments have to be in the past. If you're recollecting them.
Yeah, everything's always the past, though. Like,
So you can never live in the moment. But
You're
moments
always
are a way of
you live in a
measuring
memory. You're
stories.
gonna live in a memory.
Yeah.
Me just saying that Jack was gonna live in a memory, that was a memory.
That's a memory now.
It's a memory now. Even though it was like 5 seconds ago, it's a memory.
It's a short memory, but it's a memory.
Yep.
Yeah.
As far as we remember it, we can forget about it. It never happened. And that's a whole nother debate. I think we kind of talked about that one on one of our previous ones.
Hopefully whoever watches knows what you're talking about, because I don't know. I don't know if I'd be on this level if I was the viewer.
You're definitely gonna have to lock in if you watch this. Because, like, these are questions that are really hard
These
to
are
answer.
unanswered questions.
They're unanswerable. That's why they're so funny. Like, you could
We
be
are
like,
like
you could be
discovering the answers.
you
to
could be
questions.
watching this laughing at it, but we're just like, we're just saying shit.
They called Aristotle crazy. They called all of them crazy.
All it was is brainstorming. Like, this is literally what brainstorming is.
Yeah.
Our brains are just coming up with random shit, and then all of a sudden we start. That's all philosophy is. That's all philosophers do. At the end of the day, they're just making up scenarios and shit that they can't prove are true or not true. And that's why it's so interesting, because there's so much that is like that. But they get credit for it because they're philosophers.
Think about that. People could be watching this thing in 500 years, looking back at something that we changed because of how we're thinking right
They
now.
could have been, yeah.
They could be making statues of us.
Yep.
Like the Pythagorean theorem in Pythagoras.
Mm-hmm.
There could be some theorem about us.
So really,
But we would never know.
philosophers are really just people who get clout and money for coming up with unanswerable ideas and unanswerable questions that people find arousing.
Riveting, yeah.
That they're like, oh, that's so cool that he should win a Nobel Prize for coming up with that. Just the same way people win Nobel Prizes for answering questions, right? Curious and stuff. People could win Nobel Prizes for raising the questions. Like, that are so crazy to people that they think is worth noticing, making notable.
Yeah.
Giving fame to. So the philosophers are gaining clout, like reputation, for coming up with crazy ideas and raising questions that people feel need to be addressed.
So would you say a guy like Joe Rogan is going to get looked back on as a philosopher?
If he raised good enough questions that, pertain to people in the future that they thought were interesting, or like, even if it does get solved, a lot of the stuff he talked about or talks about, like, it's still the fact that he's raising the questions.
So would a guy like Stephen A. Smith, who all he does is talk about like sports takes, his opinions on how Justin Herbert's cooking, how D'Lo's moving, where Trey Lance is gonna go. Isn't that just philosophizing things?
Yeah, because he's just entertaining. That's all all philosophers do. Okay, we're solving this like right now. Is like, I shouldn't say solving. I'm gonna say phrasing in the best way to understand what philosophers do. Is they get people interested in ideas that entertain their mind and give them arouses their mind. I can't find a better word. Like, something that sparks your mind that you're like, oh, I'm interested in this. Like, you're drawn to it, like aroused. I don't know. You're drawn to these crazy ideas that philosophers raise. Like, that's why if, like, the greatest questions in history that philosophers have made, somebody had to have read it and been like, oh wow, that's a really good question, I want to solve it. And so that's why they like want to spread it. Like, if I saw something crazy, like a crazy question, and I wanted to talk about it on here, I'd be like, Jack, look at this crazy question. Because it sparks something in your brain that you just want to solve. You know? You're giving them credit.
Yeah.
So yeah, philosophers are just clout chasers. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. It makes sense, but it doesn't. They're unintentionally clout chasing. For them, their arousal would be them raising the questions and coming up with them because they think they're cool. They think it's really cool and innovating that they found these questions. The same way people think it's cool when they find their publishings of the questions. They're like, oh, that's a great question. So they're both connected through that idea that they found something that sparked their interest. So like, yeah, these philosophers just like me and you probably raise questions that we think we came up with and that are cool, and that's why we want to share them. That's why we can talk about them on here.
Yeah.
Because if someone else thinks they're cool, they'll be like, oh, I didn't really think about that. And even if we don't get credit for it, at least we talked about it. You know? Like,
yeah.
we're contributing to something if we somehow raised a cool enough question that brought people into it.
Yeah.
Just like the question, like, who was it, Stephen A. Smith or someone said, would the best, how many NBA players could win
Madness.
Could win March Madness on the number 1 team?
No, 16.
Or on the 16 seed team in March Madness? How many NBA players are there active in the NBA right now that you could take one of them, one random NBA player, and put it on the 16 seed March Madness and they'd win?
This is like a solid.
Alex Caruso was talking about it, and he said it was like
10
30.
guys.
He said maybe 25, 30, I'm pretty sure.
It's like 10
Which,
guys.
okay, but whoever raised that question, I don't know if it was whoever on that podcast or maybe it was someone on SportsCenter. Somebody raised the question at some point, and I don't know who they are. So like, obviously they probably can be credited some way. Whoever said it first, it could be timeline to the first person who posted it online. Whoever that was though that raised that question, they just got famous because they came up with a solvable or unsolvable question that
a question with
people.
No actual answer.
Yeah, a question that aroused people because they know it's not possible.
An open-ended question.
Yeah, but their minds are like, oh, that's a really good debate topic. Like, and now whoever invented that question, we don't know who it is. So whoever from that podcast or online that raised that question first, you just, you should be gaining clout for that because that was like a smart question.
After deeper contemplation, there's probably like a good solid 30 guys. That's probably about right. I even feel like a guy like...
Oh, you're talking about the actual question, the NBA?
Like Boban Marjanovic.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he probably even would win on a 16 seed. Because think about it, you get a guy that's tall enough and good enough with the ball. Pause. I mean, that's unstoppable at March Madness. There's nobody big like that, really.
Yeah, the bigs. I think it'd be
Bigs
like
would dominate.
pretty much every starting big would probably
Pretty
dominate.
much. Big Cat, it's game over.
Big Cat?
Jokic, it's probably game over.
Probably.
It's game over.
Literally, because the difference in bigs is so much crazier than...
Boogie Cousins would have been a problem. Pelicans, Boogie Cousins before the Achilles would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo would be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Bam's on my Mount Rushmore.
I got Bam at my foe.
I got Bam at my foe.
No, but when I was thinking about how many guys there are in the NBA that could start on a 16 seed, initially my answer was there's maybe 6, 7 guys.
No, don't do that shit again. You might gotta cut that out. That's
I'm just
horrible.
trolling. No, my initial response was I agreed with Alex Caruso.
Yeah, 30.
I was like, that sounds about right. Pretty much like every big, and there's definitely some really talented guards.
It's right about in the slot.
Yeah, 30s. Some people were saying like anybody could.
Hell no.
You guys don't understand how good these college teams are. Like, especially the winning. Like,
Especially nowadays.
they were
with
referencing
NIL.
UConn when they won back to back or whatever. Like, that would be crazy. like a 16 seed, like
Plus, not only do you have to beat the 1 seed, but you gotta carry that team 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. You gotta win 7 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
With that horrible team.
Yep.
Everybody else could be actually shooting like 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Some 16 seeds are bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a team game. That's what I'm thinking. Like, one guy's not gonna win it. Like, he could drop 60 points and still lose. Because literally everyone, you can't play defense on 5 guys. All 5 starters on the 16 versus the 1 are gonna be at a disadvantage. They're just gonna get scored on. Like,
but if you have somebody that's good enough, you can do it. Like LeBron.
Yeah, if you got a guy that can
LeBron in the 08
yeah,
09 season, 65 wins with fucking.
That's why the bigs have the
left
advantage.
pocket dog shit at.
Yeah, that's the only reason like a guard could do it,
position.
and a big could is because a big could just play D. Like, if they played paint D and stopped all people from driving and shooting close shots, then that's a huge part of the game. They just pretty much did that, and they threw a shit ton on offense.
Like Zach Edey and Purdue.
Yeah, so they scored so much on offense.
And Zach Edey's not even that good in the NBA.
No.
And look what he did on Purdue.
Yeah.
I mean, Purdue's better than a 16 team, but
yeah,
there's a lot better
and they
players
didn't
than
even win.
Zach Edey.
Yeah, Zach Edey didn't even win.
Elprin Sengun would be a problem.
Yes,
Would
but
be a monster.
like, yeah, the bigs would have like immediate advantage, like defense, and then scoring a bunch on offense. Probably there's a few that could definitely do that. But when it comes to like guards, they're not gonna be able to play defense on like bigs and stuff. It won't matter on defense. And on offense, even if they did score like 70, you know damn well that the 1 seed that's playing the 16 or whoever the best team they play is, the players are gonna be straight bullying your guards
All game.
and your big.
All game.
Besides one guard, like, they're guaranteed to score. Like, if your star player, whoever you picked from the NBA, isn't scoring, like, shooting over, like, 50%, it'd have to be more than that. Because, low-key, the other team would be making uncontested pretty much shots on you all game. Like, it'd be a really bad mismatch.
You also got to think about, though, guards in the NBA are like forwards in college. Like a center in college isn't the same as a center in the NBA. That goes for every position. Like Marquise Noel for Kansas State, that dude was like what, 5'9"?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing in college, didn't make the NBA. I mean, he's in like the G League, I'm pretty sure, for the Raptors. He's not gonna make a roster because he's too small.
Mm-hmm.
There's only been like a select few amount of small players that can really make it work. The game's so much bigger. So I feel like even...
Yeah, but he's a really short...
Anthony Edwards is a guard.
Mm-hmm.
He would win. You're going to tell me he wouldn't? Put him on SIU Edwardsville.
No. I really don't think he would. He'd play really good D and he'd be a problem. But unless he's shooting, like I said, over 60% field goal.
Who's going to guard him?
There's D1 people that could definitely contest with him. Yeah, like defense?
Think about the best rookie defensive performance you've ever seen in the NBA. There's been some good ones. Not that many.
Yeah.
Not that many. And even then, they still get cooked.
Yeah, but he's
Anthony Edwards is out there cooking.
Anthony Edwards isn't a big, so his size wouldn't be as big of a factor. Like, he'd depend on his shooting ability because he's a guard.
But also his size is...
It would help him,
more of advantage.
But then they just throw a center on him instead. And they'd force him to shoot.
Zion carried the fuck.
Zion would. I'm not gonna say that right now. Zion is definitely one of the players I think that would win the championship because he's so versatile.
What position does he play?
In college, he would play like center. What
position does he play in the NBA? He's a shooting guard.
Yeah, that's because of the size though.
Anthony Edwards is a shooting guard. and is
'cause of the
taller than Zion.
Because, like you said, it's the size of the NBA.
He's taller than
And
Zion.
that's also lineup, so people play small ball.
He's taller than Zion.
Okay.
He's better than Zion.
It depends on your play style, though.
Ant's play style is at the hoop. He posterizing guys every game in the NBA. What do you think he's gonna do in a college game?
Yeah.
When you have future accountants and lawyers out there trying to stop him?
I think he'd be posterizing. There's no doubt.
I think he'd be
But every single
winning the
possession he has.
He could. There is a solid chance. It's so easy in the NBA. They make it look so easy. What do you think they're gonna do when they get fresh
Ant
meat?
doesn't make it look easy. You're averaging like 40 in the NBA.
Okay, what about a guy like Shea? That's a guard.
If he could foul bait like he could, that just wouldn't happen. First of all, because
Okay, but he gets the rim on the foul bait. That's the real kicker. You're gonna tell me it's harder to finish in college than it is in the NBA? He's just gonna be scoring that. You don't even need a foul bait.
That's what I'm saying. There's no doubt. There's guards that like would score a shit ton. Like I'm dropping like 70 points
And
plus.
win the game.
You think they win?
Yes. Yes. I do. Because also they send a double. You leave a D1 player open from three. It's barbecue chicken 45% of the time. Wide open, uncontested. So they can't really send a double. Because they're too good in the NBA that they're going to be able to facilitate the ball. Like, obviously, not going to score 100% of the points and win the whole game.
I don't know. I just think the D1 team, like the high level one, would score so easily that it would offset like most of the offense for your NBA player.
That's like
Unless you're big.
With the national champions in college football.
Just like there's a size difference from D1 to. What did you say?
Would like the best team in college football, the national champion, beat the Browns?
No. See the size difference. And like I said, there's size difference like you're talking about, like from D1 to NBA, but there's also size difference from top D1 to low D1. Like St. Thomas, like our basketball team, our guards, or our like big or forwards would be the size of like the top 4 D1 teams guards. Like they have those big guards. And those are the players that make it to the NBA. People who are big and can play like a guard, that's like the newest thing. Like the best players. Like when you got somebody moving like Jsmitty Murray, you're like somebody who's like lengthy and big, or KD. Like,
Jalen Brunson. Good off 2 feet.
Yeah, but when you got somebody like that who can really like stretch the floor and score from anywhere and is like a big guard, they're score so much. They score so much because they can stretch. Like whoever's on them is probably too small. They could back them down, and then if they put someone big, they're so fast and versatile.
Anthony
they
Edwards.
Can shoot the ball. Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is those players those players that can really do that. They're such a dime a dozen that they make it to the NBA. And that's like the disconnect with that one. Like
Paulo and Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole.
Yep.
Not Jordan Poole.
Well, a little bit.
That dude's balmy.
Yeah. But no, I don't think they necessarily win. Because I'm just saying those players, those big guards that are starting on top D1 team that are like, probably most of them could go to the NBA. They're going to torch a St. Thomas, just like a normal sized guard, you know. Like those big guards will eat their lunch pretty much. You know, like they really won't stand a chance.
Yeah.
And so it would offset whatever scoring that NBA players do when the rest of your team is getting torched. and you can't cover the defense on the whole floor because you're one player. That's why it's like people who think an NBA player could do that more than like 35 of them. You're underestimating how much of a team sport basketball is.
It's a team sport. Yeah.
Like I can pull up to the Y with like a bunch of little kids, and playing on like the 5-foot hoop, and I'm just dunking every time, scoring.
Why are you pulling up to the Y with a bunch of little kids? I'm
saying like because I'd have that advantage like an NBA player would. I'm just saying like if I were to score every possession, I'm just dunking on the 5-foot hoop. But then like my teammates don't make the conscious decision to pass me the ball. I have no effect.
But what if you're also playing against 5 toddlers? You win the game.
They just wouldn't know how though to play. That's not really a fair comparison. I'm saying 5-year-olds because like they might know how to play basketball.
You get 5-year-olds on your team and you're playing against 12-year-olds.
12-year-olds would win because they'd eat the 5-year-olds' lunch. Every possession, you don't think a 12-year-old scoring on a 5-year-old?
You don't think you're stopping that?
All the 12-year-olds?
Yeah.
If they're decent 12-year-olds, like good 12-year-olds?
The 5 best 12-year-olds.
Yeah, they're torching me. I can't cover the floor and guard all of them. I'd bully like a couple of them. I'd probably score every possession on them. Almost, but I wouldn't. It's just not enough. My defensive presence isn't enough to offset my offensive presence. That's the whole central theme of the debate.
There's not 5 good enough 12-year-olds that would beat me.
Yes, there is.
No.
I promise you.
I promise you.
You would be so surprised.
I promise you there's not. I will go look up the best like 12-year-old AAU basketball. I'm clamping all of them.
No, you're not, bro.
Simultaneously.
They spread the floor, bro, and they can shoot, bro.
We're running a 3-2 zone, and I'm just standing in the paint. They ain't getting the shot off. Unless it's a deep shot.
Well, you're acting like you're fucking Zion, bro.
They're not shooting better than I'm shooting.
You're acting like you're Zion, though, bro. Like, you're acting like you just be bullying these guys, and I promise you, you're making shots.
Not as many as I am.
Okay, but the problem with that thing is now you're making yourself seem like you're big. Like, you'd be able to do that. Like, that comparison saying 12-year-old, 5-year-old.
No, I'm talking about skill level. There are some big 12-year-olds out there. Like, there are 12-year-olds out there dunking.
So you don't think if they got a couple of them?
They're not going to beat me.
Let's not say 12-year-olds. Let's say like 14-year-olds.
No, I don't have that much skill. But what if the NBA player was that good in comparison to the D1 players? And the D1 players were that much better.
That's what I'm saying. Like the question you raised, it's not even 12 and 5-year-olds. Like a whole team of 12-year-olds.
Yep.
That's just not really a fair comparison.
How? There's an obvious skill level gap. And if you
there's a big
theoretically match that with the same skill gap,
it's also a size gap.
And the 16.
It's also a size gap.
Like you said, it was a size gap. How the 1 seeds have all the big players.
Yeah.
That's it. There's a size gap. It's perfectly equatable.
Yeah, but they're all like still the same age range. Like development range. They're the same development range of basketball. They're all college players. You and a 12-year-old,
they're not obviously the same developmental level. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a 1 versus a 2 versus a 3 seed because everybody would be the same seed because everybody would be the same if there was no developmental difference.
Bro, we just talked about this. The big guards that can stretch the whole floor, they have a genetic plus skilled differential than a St. Thomas who's maxed out their potential. You could be the max of your potential as a basketball player, play D1. You still can't get to that level because you can't stretch the whole floor. And you can't score in every way they can because you're not their size and athletic ability.
Kendall Blue has reached his peak.
He's reached it?
He's reached it. It's about 12 points a game in the Summit League, and he's transferring to try to go fry bigger and better fish. He reached his ceiling now. He can't get better. That's the hot take of the night. If one thing's remembered from tonight, remember that.
So you're saying he can't?
He's reached his potential. That dude is not that good.
Yeah, well.
I got that on clamps.
He thinks he is. Yeah. He's trying to transfer. He probably thinks he can do better. I mean, as far as that goes in our debate, don't really change it. Just because, like, I don't know. It's a tough one because you can't really just throw ages out there. I don't know. There's a lot to it. That's why it's an interesting debate nonetheless. I think we went on that question a little too long. We should probably go to the next one. But that's a hard one because you can't solve it unless it actually happened. And so for now, it's just all people can do is just make conjectures about what it would be like. We got any more questions?
I think that just about does it.
Yeah, we've been blabbing for a long time.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty...
I'm content.
Yep. Well, I probably did about 90% of the talking tonight. I'm about talked out.
Did about
70%?
70%.
Yeah. But I'm pretty talked out. So I think it might be time to call it.
Yep, it's time to go knock out. Time to get out.
Alright, well, that was fun. Until next time. Peace.